Off the sauce and I'm geeked up. Don't come with that weak stuff. Marshawn, I'm in beast mode. I'm a G nigga, live the G code. Off the sauce and I'm geeked up. Don't come with that weak stuff. Marshawn, I'm in beast mode. I'm a G nigga, live the G code.
Let's get started. Space City Brothers podcast. It is me. It is I. It is us. It is we. It is them.
My last chance.
It is Space City Brothers.
My last chance. I am one of your hosts, Space City Tev, and you know the other guy.
The Osiris of this shit. Space City Walk.
And we back again for another episode. You guys gonna get rid of us.
It is a dreary sunny, not sunny. It is a dreary Sunday.
Cold too.
It's not even February anymore. It's March
2nd.
March 3rd.
Oh shit.
Because the first was Friday.
So it's Sunday.
So, by the time you hear this, make sure you paid your rent.
Yep.
If not, you are really not being responsible.
Nope.
So I've hit like a very strange place because I went to the gym and there was a commercial, like one of the TVs I guess was just on like a regular channel. Like, you know, at 24 they have the TVs that have on like 24's channel where it's like
just talking and shit and showing different ads and shit.
Yeah, and music videos.
Yeah.
But it's like the 24 channel, and then like the TVs next to it will actually be an actual TV channel.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, this channel was just on infomercials, and it was an infomercial about like a rotating, like a handheld rotating saw, and I was captivated by that hoe. I was so fucking captivated.
Turned into a dad already.
Bro, I was sitting there looking at that house like, wow, that would really be handy. Like,
for what?
Look at all the things you could just easily cut if you wanted to. You could just hold it by hand. You don't have to get out a giant ass fucking circular saw or fucking buzzsaw or fucking reciprocating saw and make a bunch of noise. It's just a small thing. All you gotta do is unlock it, press it down, cut it, and you done. You just unplug it, put it back in the thing. I was so captivated by this goddamn
over here thinking about projects and shit to do with this rotating saw. I could fix a table leg. I could fix those cabinets. I could cut up some new stairs.
I could build panels. I could slice up wood flooring and tile.
Career changes and shit. You know, carpentry's not that bad.
I was like, it doesn't take that. Like, I was like, you know what? Why the fuck am I just sitting here mouth agape at this goddamn rotating saw commercial?
Shit probably don't even fucking work.
And that how I think it was on the channel where it just kept repeating. Cause it's like every time between sets, I'm just sitting there looking at it, and then when I look away, like everybody else around me is looking up at it.
The saw, y'all niggas having you and fucking synchronized dad moments and shit, adult moments.
Group thought this shit. We're all like, wow, that's really nifty.
You guys want to start a carpentry business? We could do it. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's just wood.
But I was sitting there looking at a fucking rotating saw. It would probably be a good buy, honestly. It would save.
No, it would
save me so. It
would save you so much money and time to do shit that you already don't do.
Well, if I was going to build acoustic panels and shit, you still got to cut the wood. But then I don't have to ask my dad for some shit, and then he got to dig in the garage and then pull out this big ass fucking circular saw and shit.
Oh my god, you not finna build no acoustic pedals, nigga. Stop.
Yeah, you can. You can just make this shit out of boards and tiles. I already seen it.
There you go.
You just gotta buy tiles.
I already seen it.
I've already looked it up, Tevin.
All right.
I'm an information person.
You gonna go ahead and just buy a circular saw to get ready to build the acoustic pedals?
No, you don't have to. I mean, they can cut it at Home Depot, but that's just one less thing you gotta wait on.
Save time by buying this saw. You probably gonna use one time, maybe, if it doesn't already come.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know why that was just so profound and captivated me. Like, I was really sitting there like, oh wow, this is great. That's great.
I don't trust them promotions no more. I remember everybody was buying them fucking, I don't know if you ever remember them Cube fans. they're like little cubes that just use water to cool and heat up places and shit.
Nah.
And they got me because it was on the TV. Like the news had fucking did a story on it. So I was like, damn, that's real handy. I like that shit. I might get. I got me and my girl one. And when I tell you it was the biggest piece of junk I've ever seen in my fucking life, the shit barely blew cold. Well, I'm not gonna lie. It was cold as fuck. I'm not gonna front. But nigga, the shit, it felt like one of those personal handheld fans. Just something that you had to plug in. I was like, never again will I trust a fucking infomercial. And then they wanted $60 for that shit. I was like, I was mad as fuck, nigga.
Well, fans don't cool rooms. They only cool people.
Bruh. They made it seem like this bitch was a fucking second AC unit. The commercial had the big ass blue, the big ass blue wind images blowing throughout the whole room, and the white lady was like, she was all the way across the room, nigga. I set that shit up, I couldn't feel it, and I was 2 feet in front of it.
Nah, fan is like a chair. You gotta test it, unless it's like a big ass fucking wind tunnel fan, one of those. Unless it's like a big ass box fan, then you just gotta get that hoe.
Yeah,
it's like you need a box fan, you just need to go get it.
Yeah, I was bugging. I got one of those big ass industrial fans I use in my room. I don't even like it that much. It just blows too hard in your face. It doesn't even really cool the room down. But yeah, I never trust one of those infomercial shits again. Get a rotating saw and shit, rotate off the handle and slice your aorta.
Nah, I don't think so. So as of this week, I've definitely cycled back to MMA and martial arts. I just rotate through like preoccupations and shit. So I just be preoccupied with something for like 2-3 weeks or a month or 3 months, and then be all the way off of it and just not care, and then cycle back. It's like, oh yeah, and this and this and this and this and this.
I forgot I wanted to learn how to do this.
And I'll be like, I don't feel like doing that. It's too much work. So I'm now on martial arts. We watched UFC 235.
That shit was a disappointment and a waste of money. You could have definitely pirated that shit.
Nah, you gotta get the 4K.
Nah, I mean, fuck that. You could have definitely pirated that shit.
Nah, it was great. It was fun.
No, it wasn't.
It was fun. I had fun.
It was cool.
I watched all the
preliminaries.
Yeah, the preliminaries. Those were good. Really, the preliminaries were kind of better.
The preliminaries most of those be free. When you told me it was $30, it was like $30.
Well, you had to pay to be able to watch it through their thing.
Through their client.
Yeah, through their
normally
thing.
They have it like on Fox Sports, dude.
It was on ESPN, but it's like if you ordered the pay-per-view, you had to pay more. You had to pay like another $20 or $30 to have the pre. I guess that's just if you're in 4K? Like. I guess that's if you're in a different country and you don't have like you don't have ESPN, because they're on ESPN to be able to like stream them and shit. But I watched them. Those were good. They were good fights. The ones that were bad were the damn title fights. That was it.
The only good fight that night that we saw was what, the Chinese girl. No, not even that one was. That one wasn't even that great. It was better than the other two though. Just one nigga was just pounding on the other nigga for fucking 20-25 minutes and shit.
Yeah. Got to temper your expectations. And it was
fuck that.
And it was only like $60.
Fuck that.
I burned $60 like that. I just let it go. Just
fuck that.
And I wanted to see John Jones in the comfort of my house.
I at least like the nigga who was gonna try to take his belt was.
Yeah,
he could went up against him. And he talking about things like, I let John Jones be John Jones, and that's exactly what I said I didn't want to do. And He definitely
the thing. Like
shit.
you knew what you were supposed to do, but then you just got it there and didn't do it. You knew exactly what you needed not to do, but you still went and did it.
The most disappointing fight, hands down, was Tyron Woodley though, because oh my god,
what the hell happened there?
Bruh, he fucking just collapsed into a ball of just meat and was not doing anything. And it'd be like little flashes if you think, oh, he finna come back.
Or
and
start, push him off and get back to his game, and it just was more of the same.
More of the same. I couldn't even, even the nigga he was fighting wasn't even really, he looked like he was just flinging for life. That's basically what the African dude was doing. he was just trying to keep him as off balance as he could, so he wouldn't fucking try to throw a big strike because he knew he wouldn't be able to handle it.
I mean, well, he came in with a game plan and he just executed it. And Woodley,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Woodley came in and just
fell right
into
that nigga trap. Like, just had no life in him at all, bruh. Just letting the nigga tee off on the nigga side, bruh. Come on now. You get your ribs broken doing that shit.
I mean, at least it wasn't as bad as you know what, that was Woodley. Who was it? Maybe I just watched it earlier. Somebody was just getting no, that was Woodley where he won a fight by kneeing the dude in the side where like the dude just didn't move.
Oh yeah.
And that was how he won one of his fights. That's what it was. Rib. But it's like, dude, you gotta freaking defend yourself.
Cuz wasn't doing nothing. Like he was
that
just
was
hanging
so surprising.
on, bro. Entirely, dog. I was like, come on, dog. It was a waste of money. This fight a waste of money. It's not a waste of money if both fighters are just fighting technical. I can see that. If one nigga is just like not doing shit and the other nigga's like controlling the whole match, that's a bad fight.
He just didn't do anything. That's so weird,
bro. Just weird. That was a terrible fight. Both sides. Both sides. Once my homeboy got in his groove and held him to them 3 rounds, I was like, that's it. He let a nigga take your belt with ease, bruh.
Well, not even, I mean, he grinded out the win. Sometimes
it wasn't no grind.
Yeah, it was a grind. He had him just up against the cage and on the ground for 25 minutes. That's a grind out win because there was no way for Woodley to win that fight. There was no way for Woodley to win that fight unless he knocked him out. That was the only way he could have got points to win that fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Just putting him down. There was no other. That was a grind. You just ruined you.
To me, a grind is
literally a grind.
To me, a grind is a nigga slowly taking apart Tyron Woodley. Like,
no, that's not a grind. That is a grind. That's picking him apart.
Well, okay, is
a grind is like you got one thing. You got one thing you're gonna do, and you're just gonna do it over and over and over and over and over and over. And you
but
end up
if it's
winning.
Not a grind, if the other nigga's just not doing shit though.
That's a grind. He couldn't do nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay,
he
that's
could
a grind.
do something.
It's not like
there was multiple times he could have just got him off of him or just not got every time the nigga got to the side, he just kept falling on the cage.
He didn't do it.
There.
That's like the fucking 04 Pistons where it's like, yeah, they're not finna put up 120 points on you. They're gonna make you fucking take the ball out the net. You gotta walk that hoe up. You gotta fucking get rebounds and box out and play good defense and move the ball. And then the end of the score is like 65-68. It's like ain't nobody trying to watch that shit because they just grinded you out. That's what he did. It's just like you like there was, I remember a very distinct Rockets game where Yao Ming got hurt and it was just T-Mac and we played the Pistons and the first half score was like 28-35.
Damn.
Like the game was awful. That's what he did. He just made that shit awful to watch. It ended up with the win, and it wasn't even close.
That's what I'm saying.
Because all the Woodley's wins, it's like, oh, he didn't knock the dude out, explosive counter punch, or fucking choke him out and shit, just beating him up, or like a decision. But it's like, oh yeah, he won that, you know.
Yeah.
But like that shit was like, no, the dude just held you there,
just held him on the ground,
just held you onto the cage,
shots, just trying to pack the stats out.
So just punch you in the ribs 200 times.
Yeah,
and then it was over.
Yeah, that wasn't really a grind.
That was a literal grind.
To me, a grind.
That was a literal grind. That was a literal repetitive task over and over.
I mean, the literal stance, but I'm talking about in a fighting stance. It's more of a grind. Is if you know Woodley's not gonna let you just get that shit easily.
That's not a grind.
If he just wasn't gonna let him get that shit easily, but he was still sticking to his game plan of trying to grind it out, trying to keep him off his toes, shit like that. But the nigga already had him on. He could have finished the fight. That's the whole thing to me. The African dude was still trying to do this little lay on him, hold his body up, throw fucking body shots and knees and shit, trying to rack up points when it was obvious that Woodley was out of the fight. So just finish the fight off. What do you grinding for no reason?
That's the problem. He had a game plan and he stuck to it.
He stuck to a game plan for a fighter that wasn't even, that looked like he ain't had no game plan.
Well, you can't control if he don't show up with a damn game plan. But, you gotta do yours. You can't adjust your game plan just because he coming out flat and just ain't doing just shit.
Flat.
You can't be like, oh, he flat. Let me start swinging for the fences. Nah, you gotta, this nigga the champ. You gotta play your game plan, because as soon as you don't, that's when he was ready to pounce on him. But that shit didn't happen.
You know, it was a good grind. The white boy, for all his worth, that white boy was grinding.
That's not a grind.
That was a grind.
That was just being tough.
That was a grind.
You getting being tough and grinding.
No, that was a grind because Cuz got slammed on his head.
Oh, you talk about what is this, Askern?
Yeah.
That wasn't a grind.
That was a grind.
That was a shit show.
That was a grind.
That wasn't a grind.
That was a grind.
That was only one round. You can't grind. You can't grind. You can't grind for one round. It's a grind because he did it 4 or 5 rounds. That's the point of the grind. It's different to just win ugly. You gotta win ugly the whole time. That's a grind. If he did that shit for one round and it was over, it's just like, oh well, he just got him and it was over. But he did that shit for 25 minutes. That's a grind.
I don't feel like that was a grind.
That's a grind.
I feel like it should be two person. Two person.
No, a 2-person fight where it's just where it gotta go to the judges. That's just a fucking.
That's just a fight. Yeah,
that's just a fight. If one person is doing one thing for 25 minutes, that is a grind because you gotta.
But if one person doing this one thing for 25 minutes,
it doesn't matter.
Other person's not doing anything. Then is that much? If it's
that's
really
a grind. That's a literal grind.
If there's no resistance, then is it a grind?
Yes. That's the literal grind. He only did one thing. It's not like he was like, oh, Woodley ain't doing nothing, so I'm gonna start just punching him in the head and knock him out. It's like, no, because if he'd have did that and been open, Woodley slugged him and it was over, then it's just like, oh well, he did all that for nothing. No, don't even give him a chance to do that. Just
lay on him.
Just hold him there. Keep pushing them keep pushing them and then them in the same spot and one at home.
That's a weak ass strategy.
It's a whack strategy. It wasn't good for TV, but he won in the fight.
Nigga, it's about what's good for TV, man. Niggas want to come back and watch you fight. Ain't nobody trying to watch you fucking roll around on the mat for 25 minutes.
Well, that's Woodley's fault because he didn't do anything about it.
Sometimes niggas get exposed, I guess, because Woodley got exposed that night for no reason. It wasn't even like Cub was just like OD better than him.
Nobody has any idea what happened.
Bro, I don't even think that nigga know what happened.
I've been watching.
He just took a Xanax and just said.
Or he didn't get the right meal or something.
Yeah, nigga had no energy at all, bro. But he was so cohesive with the shit. It's like you watching yourself get your ass whooped. That's what I felt like.
You just in that house. It's not like you're outclassed where it's like, well, I can't do shit. I'm trying.
Yeah, like nigga just stronger than you. Power. It wasn't even like Cub wasn't even that much stronger than him because his body shots weren't even really affecting Woodley. I mean, after a while they was, but Woodley was still like, you know what I'm saying? He even like he was tired. He was just like he was just annoyed, like he was just sad in the ring. Got to the ring, it was just done.
Well, you gotta fucking gotta do something about it. It didn't happen, and then fucking Jones just tagging
that boy. He fucked him up. That was sad. That fight wasn't even like remotely just good. That was sparring practice. It was like when you practice on rookie level on UFC game or some shit like that, and the dummies just throwing weak punches and kicks and shit, and you doing all the special moves on the nigga. That's basically what Jones did. Just special moves on the nigga. He had to throw at least one type of he threw every type of strike. Let me rephrase that. He threw every type of strike and had a slam. Took his back,
bro. You didn't see you were playing the game. You didn't see how he just threw him to the ground.
I know.
Like
I saw
that
shit. Just like
bro, he just
like it was a heavy bag of rice or some shit, a heavy bag of dirt
or some oats or some shit.
Yeah, it's like bro, flatter that nigga.
Like he's trying to break an ice bag.
Oh, you feel me? Like was just picked him
it's up. Like, oh, this one pretty stiff.
He didn't really slam him. He just threw his ass to the ground. It wasn't even a slam. He didn't pick him up. He just with force threw his ass to the ground.
Just flipped him over.
Bruh.
Shit made no sense.
Oh, man. I'm still trying to figure out how that white boy got up though.
Shit, tough on him good. Oh, tough on him good.
God damn.
It was hard.
Was like on that boy, bro. Like, oh, that was a funny fight. I don't know what the fuck was happening on that one. Like, shit, niggas just teeing off on him, hitting him in the head and shit. Cuz was just coming right back, trying to grab onto him.
Yeah, Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Just tough son of a gun. That nigga got back up. They didn't stop the fight, and he was able to recover.
That nigga definitely was out.
Nah. He wasn't out.
For a second, he was out.
No, he got his lights. He got his bell rung. He wasn't out.
You know, he was out. At one point, his head just dropped. And niggas just, He hit him like at least 3 times with his hands was like this.
Well, see, in the press conference, he was like, when he landed, he landed on his arm.
Yeah.
It couldn't get his other arm out to do anything until he got it out and then got back up. Bobby just got back up. You ain't finna slam me on my head and punch me in the face 3 times.
He was covered in blood and slippery as fuck.
Look, you ain't finna slam me on my head and then punch me in the face 3 times and then I get up. Like, nope, I'm just done.
Bruh.
And he was like,
got the fuck up and kept fighting.
He was like, that was the first time I ever had to prove I had toughness. I usually don't like to do that. I would rather not have to.
We see that. Nigga threw what, 7 punches that whole match?
It was like, I would rather not have to. But then he was like, Dana White wants them to fight again because since the ref stopped it. What Lawler was saying is that when he had him in the headlock, like one side of him was pressed against his body, and then the dude had his arm over his ear.
Yeah.
So he was actually choking him. And he was like, well, I was going to let him tire his own arms out. And he was like, well, if I'm away here, I'm going to just relax instead of tensing up. That was what he was saying. And then when the ref went up to him, he didn't hear him. That he couldn't hear the ref. That's what he said. I don't know.
Dog.
I ain't been choked like that. That's what he said.
Nigga's arm went from up on the neck.
Yeah, from up on the neck. And
then dropped like a weight.
Dropped
That's
to the
not
floor.
I was tired. That don't even sound like, oh yeah, this nigga he wasn't choking me. Even though his arms was around my neck completely, he wasn't choking me. I was still awake. I was gonna let him tire his arm out. No, nigga, that's not what he has you with a headlock. That's not how that works. I've never been a UFC fight, but I know for a fact that you don't let a nigga tire his arm. Like, that's not a thing. You don't let a nigga tire. Nigga's arm's not finna get tired of choking you. The fuck. That nigga sound full of shit. That nigga was out cold. It just came back. Or he was fading. But I would stop the fight too. Why would I keep the fight? If your arm do this, nigga, dead weight, I'm done with the fight. Yeah, you done. I don't give a fuck. You pop back up with all the fury in the world afterwards. Well, you can do that shit too. Shit was out cold.
Dana was like, when somebody gets actually choked out, they're usually pretty dazed even when they come back. But he was like, you don't get choked out, and then as soon as the ref calls the fight, you jump back up. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? So he wants them to rematch. The Askren dude was like, no, I'm not interested in a rematch. I want to. He's like, I'm off that.
No more.
He says that he didn't even want to fight Lawler to begin with.
Oh wow!
Because that was like his debut.
Oh word?
Yeah, that was like his first UFC fight. He didn't want to fight Lawler to begin with. He was like, I like Lawler, so I don't want to fight him. And he wants to fight whatever the other 2 guys. He said he's going to London to see 2 guys fight. That he wants to fight the result of them 2. I don't know. Just a weird night.
Yeah, it was a weird night.
I looked up gyms in the area. There's like 14 Taekwondo places in Pearland.
Shit, nigga, try going down fucking.
Like, why is there so many Taekwondo gyms in Pearland?
Who's still taking Taekwondo?
People are definitely still taking Taekwondo.
I thought all that shit was the same when I was a kid.
No.
Karate, Taekwondo. I thought that was the only 2 karates or martial arts until I got a little bit older. I was like, there's Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, there's fucking Roman Greek wrestling, which is different from regular wrestling, which not the WWE does. I think we could have made it as wrestlers.
Well, like High school wrestlers or WWE wrestlers?
WWE wrestlers.
Absolutely not.
You don't think you can make it as a WWE wrestler?
No, you have to destroy your body for that shit. No, sir. I am way buttons for that shit. Niggas just tearing shit left and right. Fucking concussions and fucking fucking. I've seen Triple H fucking quad roll up his leg and shit. Fucking John Cena.
I wonder how much they make.
John Cena tore his pec, like just ripped it and shit. Fucking Kurt Angle landed on his head. Brock Lesnar landed on his head. Steve Austin landed on his head. Chyna landed on her head.
I wonder what the CTE count for them is.
It's got to be high as shit.
It gotta be.
And they don't even really stop matches for when people get hurt. It's they finished them hoes. Nigga. They finished them hoes, and then it's like, okay, let's get the stretcher.
Let's get the stretcher. The nigga who's a referee has no real officiating motherfucking training. He's just a nigga who got hired for the night. That's it. Or he travels with them. Cause ain't no way in hell that nigga is ever. Fuck, we just started Twitter where we contradict officiating referees on WWE or some shit. Like whenever we see stoppage rules, start an official WWE referee Twitter account. That's it's just contradict how they rules.
I'm not finna have Vince McMahon send lawyers to my door. Fuck that.
The official WWE. Referees Twitter account.
Why is Ronda Rousey just intense at all times on this show?
Is that the girl who beat her ass the first time?
No, she beat her.
Oh.
She fucking dislocated her fucking arm when they fought after. I just watched that. I just watched that her earlier. She fucking dislocated her arm with an arm bar after this.
Who, Ronda Rousey and the girl?
Yeah, cause it was actually supposed to be a different chick that was Rousey's friend, but then she had to have surgery, and she had the surgery like the day that show started. Oh. Like Ronda came in at first, and then the other wasn't it Tate showed up, and she was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then Dana White came in and was like, "Oh, what's her name? Can't do it because she's in surgery now."
So we just brought somebody. We
brought the exact person you would hate to be here. Because they got beef because Rousey beat her in Strike Force. So, and then they basically been beefing the whole show. But like Rousey is the one who like takes everything more serious than the other girl. And she's like intense and scowling all the time. I hate how Ronda Rousey like uses her mouth. It just annoys me so much. The way she uses her face is like someone who always has dip in their mouth. But it's not like, it's like she's doing way more action with her lips than a normal human needs to do. It's like, it's just weird to me. Especially as a big lip black man.
What's Linus Reed's mean tweets?
So you know Linus Tech Tips, right?
Yeah, I kind of.
So apparently they what?
I kind of don't like him.
Why?
He's just kind of annoying.
I mean, he's Canadian. It's fine. I love that channel. It's great. I have fun watching it. So he was like, "Oh, we couldn't think of content for this week, so we're just gonna read YouTube comments." It's just people calling them homophobic slurs and shit. People calling them the F word and. It's like, golly, what's wrong with you? It's like, if you hate Linus that much, why are you watching the videos on his channel that's named after him?
Because if
started by the company that's named after him. It's
you asking too many logical questions.
It's like, why y'all hate watching and hate commenting? It's different if it's like, I'm a joint, it's like, oh, this happened? Oh, whatever. Like, why are you hate watching? It'd be different if you just dislike the video and you're expressing your dislike, or it's like, oh, well, that was whack, or yeah, let's not do that again. But it's just like, they're just calling him names and slurs and shit. It's like, what's wrong with you people? Fucking idiots.
You asking too many logical questions, bro. It's the internet. If you can hate on somebody, you probably are. There's no logic to it. Like if you didn't like somebody, you wouldn't watch the video.
Like, I don't like Post Malone, I'm not finna go on a Post Malone music video and then be like, Post Malone sucks, he should die or some shit. It's like, why would I even go to his video? Because, I'm just not gonna do it. If it sucks, I'm just gonna hit the X on the tab. Like, well, that was 30 seconds I wasted of my time.
Yo, you think they had that type of shit going on back in the day? I mean, you didn't have social media, but like, if you hated like Muhammad Ali, you didn't go up to the nigga.
Well, those people would handwrite death threats and mail them to his house.
That's
and
what
shit.
I was thinking. Mail them to this nigga's house. Fuck you, nigga. You're not the champ and shit.
Or they
go back to Africa, coon.
Or they paint picket signs and wait at the airport and shit. Or
whatever run up. Like, you're not running up on Muhammad Ali.
Nah, they'll whoop your ass and keep it moving.
Yeah. Just any artist, anybody, period. You're not gonna run up on like Bob Marley and be like, "Fuck you, Bob Marley. Your music sucks ass."
I'm pretty sure somebody did. I think somebody did run up on Bob Marley.
Yeah, they did. I forgot they did. A few people did. Did he get shot like 6 times?
Let's see.
Imagine making reggae music and getting shot for it.
He survived an assassination attempt and then put on a concert that same day.
Bob Marley appreciation podcast.
2 days before the Smile Jamaica concert, 7 men with guns raided Marley's house. His wife was shot in the head in the car in the driveway.
Who runs up on Bob Marley? That's something they're not saying. Because who just was like, you know what, we're going to run up on Bob Marley and shoot his whole family up. For what?
It was the beginning of political violence.
Oh, okay. It must have been from the other side.
He announced a concert in an attempt to quell the violence.
Hey, I'm going to have a concert.
And many viewed him as tacitly supporting Manley in the PNP. Well, that makes no goddamn sense to me. I don't know why you thought trying to murder Bob Marley was gonna help your situation.
Right. It's not Jamaica only, but so big they knew exactly who did it. It was ever who wasn't at the fucking spot where they were supposed to be at. Where's Winston? I don't know. Just as in, Bob Marley's been shot today. Oh, yeah, I know where Winston is now.
Oh boy. What is this you put on here?
So niggas was having an argument on Tumblr. Could a healthy Katara beat a healthy Azula in a 1v1?
She did.
No, she didn't.
She did.
No, she didn't. That doesn't count.
How it doesn't count?
You talking about when she went against Zuko and Azula? I mean, and Katara?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't count.
How does it doesn't count?
Because Azula was going through her own little shit. She was having a breakdown.
That's her fucking fault. That's not Katara's fault.
That's not healthy. I'm talking about a sound body and mind. Azula versus Katara.
That's impossible.
How is it impossible?
Because at no point was Katara in a goddamn sound body and mind. She literally had the damn fate of the world on her shoulders for like 3 months hanging with Aang. She didn't
have a mental breakdown.
That's Azula fucking fault.
Azula was having a mental breakdown.
Katara got this fucking maniac person that's ready to kill you on sight like multiple times and has attempted to. The fuck? That's you. It's not Katara's fault that Azula's a goddamn lunatic. Fuck that.
But
fuck
I'm
that
saying
bitch.
though.
Nah, fuck that.
But I'm saying
nah,
though.
That's bullshit.
Mind, sound, mind, and body Azula.
No, that's bullshit.
Sound, mind, and body Katara.
That's bullshit. She had her chance.
Azula
and she
body
couldn't do
Katara.
It. She had a chance and she couldn't do it.
It
was the middle of Sozin's comic. That was the most powerful she would ever be in her whole life. And she couldn't get it done.
Because nigga, she was going crazy.
That's not Katara's fault.
That is. I mean, it's not Katara's fault. But
she literally had tried to murder her multiple times and even hired a nigga to murder her separately and couldn't get it done. It's Katara all day.
You think Katara? So Katara, your vote is on Katara.
It's Katara because Azula had her chances and she couldn't get it done.
But
I don't want to hear about it.
I'm always going.
I don't want to hear about it.
Azula
Tyrone Woodley.
She did. She did. She had a breakdown.
She had a full. It's Tyrone. I don't know why I'm calling him Tyrone.
I keep saying it too.
Fucking southern nigger. Then we call him nigga Tyrone. We're calling him Tyrone. Is it Tyron or is either Tyron or Tyron?
Tyron.
I think it's Tyron. I think it's Tyron.
Whatever.
But we're calling him Tyrone. You're Tyrone because I can't say Tyron correctly.
Tyron.
she fucking Tyron Woodley fucking choked under pressure.
I don't know, bro. I think Azula.
No, she choked.
She choked.
She wild buns. She wild buns. Nigga had Sozin's Comet make you as powerful as you ever will be at the height of your powers. And you got lightning bending, and there's virtually no water around but what she had in her pocket, and she just so happened to notice a goddamn creek under that hole.
Yeah.
Fam, you was shooting you was shooting lightning at her the whole time.
But we talking about Azula just
she lost.
Served everybody the hands that season.
No.
She served the Avatar. Well, actually, the Avatar won her ass up.
Okay, so she already got beat. She basically got beat. She basically got beat. I'm counting that as a loss.
I can't count it as a loss.
I'm counting that as a loss.
I count it as a loss, but it has an asterisk next to it.
Okay, well, the asterisk is that her ass got whooped, and then Aang had to go protect Katara. I'm counting that as a loss. She didn't do anything. She didn't show me anything to be proud of then. And then she had her one with Zuko, was about to lose that. And then had to resort to cheap tactics and shit again. Basically, the same thing happened twice.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking Katara all day.
Well, that's where you stand.
Get that shit out of here.
Agree to disagree.
Get that bullshit out of here.
Fucking
loser Azula. Fucking loser.
I think Azula.
Fucking loser.
A healthy mind.
Azula is
serving Katara in the hands.
Azula is basically the Buffalo Bills in the 90s. 4 straight Super Bowls couldn't seal the deal. That's who Azula is.
But like
garbage. Garbage.
She more like the Patriots.
No, she's not.
She's more like the Patriots.
No, she's not.
Because she wins a lot, but when she goes up against like the Giants,
no, she won.
She takes the L.
She won the bullshit that nobody cared about. She could beat fucking Sokka.
Oh, yeah.
She could beat Sokka. She could beat Toph because Toph is blind. And she could beat Toph if they're.
I don't think she can.
She could beat Toph if they're not standing on the ground. Like if they're on like a firebender airship, she's not. Toph
can still feel it. She can't feel air though.
Toph is,
she can feel it her surroundings, but if she's
okay, if Azula heats up the whole ground of that hole, what's Toph gonna stand on?
She fucking build a rock platform, nigga.
How you gonna build a rock platform on an airship? A metal airship.
Fucking the metal on the air.
Okay, she can heat up the metal.
I mean, she's still holding herself doing that shit too.
She can heat up the metal. So you're gonna put yourself in an iron mask for her to put that hole in the fucking furnace? Come on now. Come on now.
I don't know.
Come on now.
I think Toph handling.
Come on now. No.
Top
off the ground? No.
Off ground.
Off the ground though.
Nah. Yeah. Still.
Off the ground no.
Still.
No.
Still.
And what if they're in the what if they go in the desert? Bam, it's over for her. It's quiet.
She has no. She can still.
Quiet. No, she couldn't sandbend.
She can't sandbend.
No, she couldn't.
Yeah, she could.
No, she couldn't.
That's how she stopped the fucking
No.
The whatchamacallit, the tower from falling so fast.
That wasn't the sand. The tower was made out of rock.
I thought
she was holding on. Sand. She was holding on to the tower.
Oh.
She couldn't see in the sand because it just looked like static.
Okay, yeah, it just looks.
She was holding on to the actual tower.
Yeah, blurry in the sand.
It wasn't blurry. It just looked like static because it's every single like piece.
Grain.
Yeah, grain. That's the word. Like, every single grain of sand is a different thing. It's not one solid thing that can have shockwaves in it. It's over for her. No, Azula is the fucking Buffalo Bill. She couldn't seal the deal. She was good until she had to really be good, and it was quiet for her.
All right, so Azula, Katara. You say Katara. Azula versus Korra.
Oh damn, I gotta think about that one.
I think Azula serving Cora the hands.
I gotta say Cora, because Azula is ruthless enough where she could just frustrate Cora.
Yeah,
Cora is very mistake prone.
Yeah, extremely mistake prone.
Very mistake prone. She wasn't crisp.
No, not at all.
I think she could beat Cora. Cause fucking Kuvira was beating Cora.
Yeah, beating the shit out of her. Like most of the people she went up against was giving her the hands.
Yeah, nah, Cora's not it.
Nah, she's still the worst Avatar.
Cora had to. She basically had to rematch everybody. She had to rematch everybody,
bruh. And you supposed to be like one of the more physical avatars. Niggas is just serving you. They was just serving the fuck out of her, bruh.
Left and right.
Left and right. It wasn't even like she won one and lost. Nah, nigga. They was just giving it to her. Who's the weakest tribe? Water tribe? I said Water tribe.
No, I don't know. I couldn't make a decision on that.
What do you mean by how?
So how do white doves work? Are they like pigeons where it's like if you release them they go back to the same place, or do they just not go that far and then you just recover them?
That's a good question. No, they train them, of course.
Or do you just like buy them hoes and then you release them and then you just raise more?
Probably that. Probably the latter.
Is it like it's a big group and it's like, okay, I need white doves for this wedding. Okay, you could get 5 of them.
I feel like they train them. That's probably a good business going to the white dove business.
Cause I feel like I've seen them at like weddings and shit.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, it's time for the release of doves. But I never thought of like what happens after, or like John. You know how John Woo has white doves in his movies.
Yeah,
it's like can you get a retake on the doves, or is it just like explosives where you just have to have a bunch of them if you need to? Yeah, if you have to redo them.
No, I assume they train them. You have a set amount, and they train them,
and they just
come the fuck
and then
back.
They just go like 10 yards away, and then just hang out.
Go to another location, and then you grab them, you collect them back in the box, and you bring them back.
Or do you like blow a whistle and then they come back?
That's probably what it is.
It's like, okay, release the doves. They go like 15 yards away. They wait around on the ground, just kind of moving around, and you blow a whistle. Like, okay,
come back.
Bring it back. All right, bring it back in, guys.
That seems more logical than having to keep raised doves just to let them. Because then you would see a whole bunch of white doves. You don't really see white doves outside of
it's like
fucking ceremony.
Or do they like just fly straight to the Galapagos or some shit? It's just like okay, let's get our bearings. Okay, south. Okay, that's southeast. All right, let's go, guys.
Just fly. Nah. Now you just mentioned it. Doves do look like pigeons. Where was I at? Oh, I was at fucking the VA getting some shit from my mom, and I saw 2 pigeons, and I was just like, you know what? You never see pigeons. I hardly ever see pigeons anymore.
Oh, you can find them hoes.
I never see them no more.
Somebody said this on like a fucking podcast or something.
That you never see pigeons anymore?
Yeah, that you never see pigeons anymore.
You never see pigeons. Are they dying out? I hope
no,
not.
hell no. You definitely see pigeons.
Pigeons be... I can understand how niggas be eating pigeons, because pigeons be looking thick as fuck. I'll be like, damn, there's probably some good meat underneath there. It's probably gamey.
No.
No.
Pigeons are probably disgusting.
They look clean.
It's not like a fucking quail or some shit. Fucking pigeon.
They look better than the balding ass birds we got over by the job. Them birds look like they had a rough ass life.
niggas be scrapping over crumbs in the parking lots and shit
all the time, bruh. And then every once in a while, a hawk will fucking fly over, and all the niggas will scatter into the trees.
Oh, fuck that. We out.
I came to work one day. Normally, there'd be a big ass group of them, just a mass of them motherfuckers just everywhere. And I came to work, it was none of them. And I was like, where the fuck are all the birds at? Did they just leave? They finally leave? They get rid of them?
Was it a hot day or a cold day?
It was like a medium day. I look up and I see I see the shadow first circling. And I look up, big ass hawk just circling the parking lot. I was like, oh, y'all niggas shook now, huh? Y'all niggas real bold when we selling crawfish, but y'all niggas scared now, huh? Oh, shit.
It's always weird to me when I see them like with a piece of chicken or some shit. Or like somebody dropped the wing, and then there's like 3 of them picking at it. It's like
don't even know.
Y'all niggas grimy.
It's like shit. They ain't part of my family.
Y'all niggas grimy.
That's crazy.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
I'm gonna Half Price Books after this. I want a book. I went in there. They got some really good records. I've been thinking about getting a record player, but I keep trying to talk myself out of it. But I want one. I know I don't fucking need one.
It just takes up space.
It takes up space, and it's pretty useless this day and age.
I mean, no, it's a different level of sound.
Is it so much better than I'm not a sound nigga. Like I'm not.
Yeah, if you're not an audiophile, then
I'm not an audiophile.
Probably don't need one.
As long as it's crisp and I got good, beat, I'm fine.
Like audiophiles don't want sound bars and shit. They get like full speaker systems where it's just like $800. It's like a $800 box, and it sounds better than a sound bar. But it's like a regular dude, you just need a sound bar.
Yeah, I feel you.
So if you're not an audiophile, you don't need vinyls and records unless you just want like the discovery of music you've never seen heard
I like
of
that. Yeah, that's
shit
what
where it's like you digging through crates and shit.
Going back and discovering old shit.
Like that rhythm roulette where it's just like you just close your eyes.
I love that
and grab.
shit. Yeah.
Like that's
Stan Getz. I learned who that was off that shit. Off the DJ Mr. Rogers one.
Yeah, that'd probably be the only other reason.
Which is cool. Like Half Price Books got some good ass albums. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't been in Half Price Books since like fucking high school, maybe.
Yeah. As I walked in there the other day, grade school, they have like a bunch of used games, used Wii games and shit like that. I was like, damn, it's not that bad in this bitch.
Freaking No Fear Shakespeare's and shit. That's what Half Price Books was good for. No Fear Shakespeare books, where you didn't have to buy where you didn't have to buy a new one. That was such a rip, freaking having to buy every single goddamn Shakespeare play.
This is before you realize you can just download this shit.
Also, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Shakespeare.
Not at all. Niggas be like, oh, well, Shakespeare, one person, a group of people.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't even know what the nigga. I don't know what none of these plays is about, let alone care.
Well, he definitely wasn't one person because Othello is about a black dude. Shakespeare was not that progressive.
From the fucking perspective of a black nigga.
Shakespeare was not that progressive. I do not think that.
Do you think they study American literature in England?
No.
We the only ones who study English. Like, who the fuck cares, my nigga?
They don't give a fuck about our literature.
They don't give a fuck about none of the shit we do. You invented so much shit in the world, niggas just like, well,
they did make the toaster.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they did make the heating plate.
We over here studying English lit for a credit, for a credit to go to pass and shit. You gotta take this shit fucking seriously and shit. Like, nigga, give a fuck about Shakespeare, none of these English motherfuckers.
Taking nothing.
I thought the whole Declaration of Independence made it, so I didn't have to give a fuck about these niggas.
Yes, I could literally not care.
What was we dumping tea over boats for and shit? If I still gotta learn what Shakespeare was.
Oh, that was because they didn't want to pay taxes. That's literally what it was.
That's basically all. That's American history. It was the fact that rich white people didn't want to pay other rich white people.
The 1% didn't want to pay taxes.
Yeah, that's it. And they got a bunch of poor people to agree with them. Fuck that shit. You right?
To become father.
They wanted to take the people. They wanted to take America's tax money for themselves.
Yeah, they just didn't.
Look like giving a piece to King George.
They just didn't want to pay taxes. They did. It's not that they didn't want to pay taxes to King George. They just didn't want to pay taxes at all.
Especially to some niggas. Hey, look, that's my daddy king. That ain't my king, nigga.
I ain't vote for him.
Yeah, fuck is you talking about? Hey, look, hey, bruh, them niggas taking our money. You know, poor white people, stupid. Who taking our money? Them niggas over in Britain.
Very easily led to blame other people.
They taking our money, bro. They taking all our money.
Nah, fuck that. Dump this tea shit out. Dump this fucking sugar shit out.
Dump the tea.
Dump these fucking King George trading cards out.
Bro, they made it seem like the tea was just disgusting, and they were so used to this other tea. Them niggas probably never give the tea a chance. Oh yeah, we gonna drink this tea.
Be like,
we got y'all some new tea.
Have you had English black tea? Like, nigga, this shit is fire.
Yeah. We don't want this Indian shit. Throw it overboard.
It's like,
but Indians like made tea. They were like part of the population that made. I don't give a fuck, nigga. It's not black tea. It's not Earl Grey.
Like, nah, it's like, nah, my nigga, we drinking coffee now. And then they just dumped it in the water. Like, damn, y'all niggas just immediately polluting.
Bro, that's the reason
why
we in this situation now.
It's like, it would have made more sense to burn it than it's like, somebody's like, we're just dumping it in the water. It's here. The water's here. We can just dump it out.
We're here. The water's there. What are we doing?
Just throw it over. That's it. Just throw it over.
Imagine being a nigga who got to come to work and see all your boxes of shit in the fucking harbor.
It's like, God damn it. It took us 2 months to get this shit all the way over here. They just threw it all in the water.
Did y'all at least try some first?
I mean, technically, hold on. Maybe
history's a lie. So I don't even care to go back and recollect because it's probably false.
No, I was thinking if you could, like, if it was just in bags, couldn't you just get the bags out of the water? But then
it's already soaked. Yeah.
They probably like you could just dry it. You could just dry it out and then reuse it. But then it's like they probably like fucking took access to it or some shit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, you can reuse tea
crate,
bags.
Nigga. It's not an airtight crate. It's just not gonna be perfectly sealed.
No, I'm saying like instead of like, okay, you dumped it out. I mean, you threw it overboard into the harbor, but it's like, could you just get it out of the harbor and then dry it out? And then just like, okay, well, that was inconvenient.
I had to get wet on my day off.
Goddamn hillbillies.
Oh, man. Who just lets a group of niggas just storm a fucking boat? It's been a group of slaves. That should have been stopped immediately.
I mean, it's the 1700s. They weren't like fucking... They didn't have no alarms or nothing. It's like,
still though.
Look, you get off the boat, you go to the local brothel, okay? You have missionary sex with a woman who hasn't taken a bath in 4 weeks, and then you go to sleep.
Syphilis or chlamydia, or a combination of both.
And then you go to sleep. You ain't finna be waiting up on the ship when you finally got to land. You trying to
get you something to go eat.
Yeah, you trying to go nut in something, shit.
You get back to the boat.
And all the tea gone.
In the fucking harbor. You just like...
Ah, shit.
God damn. What happened? Aren't you supposed to be watching the boat? Nigga, it was like 2 a.m. What you mean, watch the boat?
No, they
fuck out.
They probably didn't find out till next daybreak. It's like, what the fuck? It's just, why is there boxes floating all over the place?
Captain, like, look, nigga, as long as I get paid, that's your business. I got paid already. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out of harbor.
Well, we delivered it. It got here. Y'all didn't sign for it. I'm good. I don't know why. I don't know why I had the thought that just Agent Smith was a bitch.
I hate the Matrix. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. The story is so fucking stupid. It's dumb.
It's not stupid. It's just that
it's ridiculously.
It's just
stupid.
that they didn't explain how they didn't explain it in the next 2 movies well enough. Like, it was too much dialogue to sift through to be able to understand what the hell was going on. Because I just watched a video today randomly about it on like Looper. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense that was the thing, but it was way too much dialogue to sit through to understand. Like, and in the shit in the third movie just really is bad.
I watched the first one. I tried to watch the second one.
And I bought the post. I love The Matrix Reloaded. Up until once you get to Neo going into the room of the architect, the movie's done to me. Like, once he gets to the room, the movie's done for me.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it's like,
care anything afterwards.
Then it's like, okay, the fucking Sentinels are after them and they have nowhere to go, and then they fucking crash their ship and they got saved by Niobe and shit. and the dude is a Smith.
Right? I'll pass. Shit doesn't make any sense. It's weird shit out of here.
You have to watch the Looper video. It explains it well about like all the things to get that you were supposed to all the things that you were supposed to basically take from the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was actually that
illusion is a choice. Free will is an illusion.
No, it was that choice is what made the difference, because the real Matrix is that they release a certain number of people. One of them is the one. Okay, then the human is like they go to destroy the humans. The machines go to destroy the humans, and then the one has a decision is to either choose to reset the Matrix, and they reset the Matrix and let the system learn from its mistakes, or just try to let humanity do whatever. And so basically all the people who are in Zion just get destroyed by, so like all the previous, the ones, they choose to reset the Matrix, so everybody in Zion gets killed, and then the one chooses the people to be released, and then it starts over again. So that was the thing. Once Neo became the one and got to the architect, he chose instead to go save Trinity and forego resetting the Matrix. So he chose the opposite.
Oh.
That's what happened. So then they had to live with the consequence of that. Now because he loved Trinity so much that he would rather try to save her, because she was about to die. It was an agent after her, and she jumped out the window to get away from the agent so the agent doesn't kill her. That was the thing. So he chose to go save her instead of resetting the whole world. So then it's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? And then he then chose to become one with the Matrix, and that was how he stopped Smith, because Smith's thing is that he wasn't able to make choices. He just became a virus, and that's all he could do.
Yeah.
And that's why he couldn't understand Neo, because Neo was constantly making choices, and all Smith could do is just act like a virus and spread. That's why he cloned himself over every single person in the Matrix.
Okay.
So that was the whole thing. That
makes sense.
So then, okay, Neo makes a choice. He stops Smith. Then they reset the Matrix, but instead of like going back to status quo, the machines two programs made a child that wasn't that wasn't a specific software program that had a function. It was just like this child was made out of love. So the machines decided to let the child reset the Matrix versus just doing the same thing over again. So then it's like, okay, well, the machines will just leave the humans alone, and then all the humans could just do whatever for as long as the machines don't, start fucking with the humans. So that was basically it. So Neo basically just changed the cycle.
Oh, but he didn't really get rid of it. He just changed it.
He changed it. Well, he broke the cycle because he could have chose. Yeah, he basically changed what was gonna happen. That's why Smith's thing was like, it's inevitable. You can't choose. You can't do anything about it. And it's like, no, Neo can make choices to change what's going to happen.
Okay. I get it. So instead of actually breaking the loop, he just changed the loop enters.
Well, he did break the loop because he could have chose to reset the Matrix, and then just everybody would have died. I mean, but and he'd have had to start over society. But instead, he was like, "Well, fuck it, we're gonna bet on ourselves.
Ride this shit out.
Yeah, we're gonna
ride this shit out.
Like, I want to save Trinity, so I'm gonna just
take the rest of you niggas with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it and figure out what the fuck would happen. Because the thing is that if he chose to reset it, then everybody has to die, including Trinity, including Morpheus, including all the people in Zion immediately, versus I can, me as the one, I can stop this. But yeah, the fucking, like, the Matrix Reloaded wasn't as bad. until he gets to the architect and shit. You got to sit through all that shit. The fucking Matrix Revolutions was awful. That movie was not good. No. The only thing I like about Revolution is fucking the parlor shootout, and then there was like no other action in that movie. That's all I remember. Is the parlor shootout when they went to go to the Merovingian, and then. Well, they had the real life shit where they were getting fucking murdered by the goddamn Sentinels, I guess. I don't really care for that.
Nah, I hate anything real life. It was just depressing.
Everybody's covered in dirt.
Yeah.
There's fucking dirty ass pipes all over the place. Yeah. Everybody's just getting murdered by machines and shit.
Nah,
I wouldn't feel that. You know who I never figured out who is the lady who was what's his name's wife? I don't even know where to start. I'm put black woman, Matrix, Revolution. I never figured out who it was. Niobe.
So tell me about this. What happened with the pepper pot? Because that shit was hilarious.
All right. Well, I'm looking for that. So I'm fucking. It's Thursday. I had some time. Okay, her name is Nona Gay. Granddaughter of Cuban jazz great Slim Gilliard. And niece of R&B songwriter Frankie Gay, and the daughter of soul legend Marvin Gaye. So she's Marvin Gaye's daughter.
Oh, wow. I didn't know Marvin Gaye had kids.
She was in Triple X State of the Union, Crash, which I would never watch, The Matrix Revolutions. She was in Ali, so I think she was Muhammad Ali's wife. I need to watch Ali again. That's a good movie. And Harlem Nights. I could watch Harlem Nights again. So I went to go get a new desk chair because the one I have for work is awful. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make some runs. I'm gonna go to Micro Center. Then I'm gonna check Guitar Center for some more shit, for some podcast shit, and then Fry's, and then go home. But so on the way, I hit the Beltway. I was like, you know what? On the way, I'm gonna go get a beef patty.
Yeah. So
I went to go to the Pepper Pot, and that house not there anymore. It's gone. It's about to be like a Mexican restaurant, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, ah, shit. I was like, okay, Grace's Cafe. Just a little bit up the street. I'll just go there. So I go to this shit, and it's like cars on the left, but none on the right. Because, it's like the strip, but it's only one long lane you can drive down. It's not like a big parking lot because there's other shit in the way of it being a big parking lot. So I go to back in, and while I'm backing it, you swing out, start backing in. While I'm backing in, a fucking person in the car starts backing out to my right, just towards me. And it's like, what the fuck? So I slam on the horn, and they don't stop. They just keep going. They back into me. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because they definitely didn't look at their mirror. Because if they had just glanced at their mirror, they would see me right there.
Already backing out.
And I slammed on the horn well before they would have got to me, and they just kept going. They just backed straight out like nobody was there. I'm like, what the fuck? So I continued to back into a parking space, so I'm not just in the middle of the way, just sitting there, and this motherfucker drives off, just takes off.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I backed in, put it in park, and I'm like, okay, let me get my phone, let me get my insurance, so I can look at what the fuck happened to my car, and they drive off. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I get out, I check my car because I heard something scrape, and it's like one of the running lights had popped out.
Yeah.
But it's just like attached to a plastic piece, so you just pop it back in. Well, there's no real like damage, but like I took off, like they lost some of the paint on their shit. I'm like, what the fuck? The fucking jackass Negro just gonna back into somebody and drive off, and it was like
drive off.
It was like it was one of those old Impalas with the big plastic
the wing on the back?
Not the wing, but the bump guards on the side, like the ones y'all had, but it was like a maroon one, and they had paper tags and shit.
Wow, so that shit was definitely illegal
or used, like they fucking used. So then I was like, man, whatever. I was like, well, I'm not driving all the way to fucking Micro Center now because I got to see if my fucking tire going to deflate or some shit.
Yeah.
So I go in there to go get the beef patty, and it's a lady on the phone, and there's 2 people at the counter. So it's 2 people and the lady's on the phone. So it's middle of the day. I don't know what she on the phone for. I'm like, oh, well, let me get in line. And, the lady at the counter is looking at the lady on the phone, and I swear I heard the lady on the phone be like, I'm talking to the Better Business Bureau. I'm like, what the hell? And then the counter's like, what do you? It's like, do you need something? And it's like, when I'm done. I'm on the phone right now. I'm talking on the phone. When I'm done talking to them, I'll address you. When I'm done, I'm on the phone. When I'm done talking, I was like, what the hell? And then, so the lady at the counter in Jamaica is like, well, you can go now. And then she was like, what? She's like, well, you can go now. I asked you if you needed something, but you're just in here. Just causing ruckus. You can go now. And she was like, the lady on the phone was like, see, I'm glad I got them on the phone so they can hear this. You telling me to leave, and I'm on the phone. That's like, what the fuck? So the guy behind the counter was like, oh, come over here, what you need? I was like, let me get 2 beef patties. And then the lady was like, my son came in here and you were rude to him. Y'all rude and you were rude to him. And I was just like, you do know it's a Jamaican restaurant, right?
You do know it's a Jamaican restaurant.
And then she's like, I know how it is. I know y'all not from this country. I know y'all Jamaican. Whatever. You are rude. And I just, like, the dude wasn't even, like, trying to take my money. He's just trying to see what she talking about. So I just handed, like, he was just like, oh, it's just $5. I just handed him the $5 and walk out. And I'm laughing to myself, like, fam, how you go to a Jamaican restaurant and then complain to them about how rude they were? Like,
that's the last thing that you need to be complaining about in a Jamaican restaurant.
Do you not understand how Jamaican restaurants go? Like, they're rude. They're all rude
to everybody.
Like, Jamaican restaurants are just bad service and great food. That's their whole
deal. They get to be shitty people to you, but they charge you basically nothing for a full fucking dinner.
For great food.
Yeah.
That will give you diabetes. Yeah. It's like, come on, fam. Like,
you're rude to my son. You get your bitch ass.
Like, you came to the wrong spot to be complaining about how rude they are. Like, I'm still gonna show up to this hoe to buy beef patties and fucking
you feel me?
jerk
Like,
legs and shit. Like, that's not gonna stop me at all.
Do you want to be known as a person that got the fucking only Jamaican restaurant on this side of town shut down? Nigga?
No, you can't. You're not gonna get shut down because they don't give a fuck.
I mean, even
there's not the only unless they fell.
Damn, are you at a Jamaican restaurant? Yes, I am. Garrett, get out my fucking phone.
Bye.
What's the Better Business Bureau gonna do? Oh, they rude. Don't go there. So they not gonna shut shit down.
Even if you Yelp the place, like it'll be somebody being like, oh, they're rude. It'll be like a 1-star, like, oh, they were so rude, and then a 3-star is like, yeah, they're rude, but
the food is good.
And then it'll be like a 5-star, like, yeah, the food is great. It's like, yeah, if you
get the fuck out of my fucking face with this shit.
I've been to 5-6 different Jamaican places, like. All of them have bad service. All of them have bad service. All of them will just let you stand there for 20 minutes and be like, oh, what you want? It's like, oh, beef patty, and then just hand it to you immediately. It's like, this didn't take 20 minutes to happen.
What did he do? Is a question. What did he do? Because the Jamaican restaurants, they aren't like just flat out just like, fuck you, what are you doing here? They're just inconsiderate of your time.
Yeah, they're just very inconsiderate.
Yeah, that's all it is.
They're just inconsiderate and direct.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're not like, oh, fuck you, get your bitch ass out of here. No,
yeah, they don't think they're better than you. They just don't care who you are.
They don't give a fuck, and they really don't want to be there right now. But that's Jamaican restaurants. They're not like,
or they have like really old people who just take their dear sweet time doing whatever.
You feel me?
It's not like they're just like, what the fuck you want? Get out.
Get your bitch ass out of here.
It's like, what y'all want?
I'm on the phone with the Better Business Bureau, and when I'm done talking to them, I'll address you. Girl, if you don't get the fuck out of my restaurant.
That's what she told her. She was like, you can get out now.
You can get out. Get out of my restaurant. The Better Business Bureau. They're going to come do what? Shut what down? As long as you following motherfucking
the fucking health code.
And you're not scamming people. You're not like charging $25 for some fucking oxtails or some shit like that. Nigga, you're not gonna get shit shut out. You're just gonna give yourself a headache being upset about it.
Yeah, just wasting your day. for nothing to literally change.
You feel me? Like if I hear somebody was being rude to my kid, I ask, well, what did you do?
It's like, were you at a Jamaican restaurant?
Well, what did you do? Why were they mad at you? Because you probably came in there being extra loud and difficult and shit.
Tough break, nigga.
They tell you they don't have the rice and peas, and they just don't have the rice and peas. Like, if you want oxtails and they don't have the oxtails, what do you can buy the oxtails yourself. Crazy.
Or you just suck it up. I mean, I fucking
move on with your life.
Nigga, I fucking did Eat 24 on the way to we binge watched season 2 of Stranger Things at my brother's house. And you know, I like after work, so I went to go pick up beef patties from a place. I did that shit before I left work. It took me 20-30 minutes to get there, and I still had to sit there and wait 20 minutes for them to get all them hoes together. It's like, bro, like, it's like, this is the name of the game. What are you gonna do? You gonna make them myself? No.
That's right. Like, the fuck?
I mean, technically, it's the same amount of time, but
That's not what I'm here for.
That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for authentic Jamaican beef patties.
Yeah,
and chicken patties.
If it's not made, if I don't want no nice service, nigga, the fuck? I don't want no good service at my Jamaican joint. What I look like having good fucking service? I want service with a smile. I want an old Jamaican man or woman angrily ask me what you want? What do you want? And I gotta tell them in my most humblest voice.
Or them just to not care how long I've been sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're done. There you go.
Just be in the back for a minute doing nothing, knowing I'm in the front, just waiting till they get ready to come over. Because then I know the food gonna be hitting hard.
Yeah,
shit gonna be fresh.
It's gonna be hot. Great. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be fresh. And it's gonna taste awesome. Yeah, it's gonna take me. It's gonna take me 300% of the time that it probably should.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be great.
And it's gonna be cheap.
Yeah, it's not gonna cost me a lot at all.
$20 can get you a whole box worth of fucking beef patties. You know, like
it did.
Yeah,
I had like 10 of them hoes.
You feel me? Like where else you gonna get that shit at? Nowhere else.
Nowhere
else can you get fucking, other than a Mexican joint, you get 20 tacos for like $10. But I don't want tacos. I want beef patties. I don't want beef patties now.
It's not what I'm here for. I'm here for beef patties.
I'm here for beef fucking patties, dog. Tell your son to stop being an asshole. Get out of the way.
Tell him to learn how
Hey, miss, can you get the fuck out of the way so I can order my food? Take that shit elsewhere.
Tell him to learn how to address Jamaican people.
Right.
By sucking it up, getting shit talked at you.
By sucking it up and getting the fuck out of the way. Just hurry up and order, nigga. You gonna be here for about an hour. I'm gonna be here for about a couple hours too. Move.
Yeah, get out the way, nigga.
They gotta clean the fryer. Remember that shit?
Bruh.
Middle of the fucking day, nigga said we had to clean the fryer. Why is it not cleaned already, nigga? It's the afternoon.
Were you with me that time where you might not have been with me, where I went to that whole one time and a lady came in and he told her that they have like three things that she asked for and shit?
I don't think I was. The only place would be a restaurant open in the middle of the day. The only place would be a restaurant open in the middle of the day and not have certain food items.
Bro, she came in that house like,
you can't even be like, fuck.
She came in, it's like, y'all got, oh no, we don't have any. She's like, y'all got fucking black eyed peas or something? Oh no, we don't have it. Like,
we don't have that.
It's like, y'all got wings? Oh, we don't have that. She's like, what do you have?
We have oxtails and beef patties.
Like, we have oxtails and like collard greens and cabbage.
And snapper. You want snapper? You want the snapper?
She was like, ugh. I was like, my nigga, like,
yeah, I take fried snapper. Snapper take an hour. We don't have no rice and no peas. Yeah, just get the snapper.
Like, God,
that's how I'll go to regular restaurants with no expectations. I just be like, let me get beef patties.
It's like, if I can't see the patties, then it's just, it's like it's a lost cause.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I want. I don't want no special. Just give me beef patties, spicy. Give me 2 spicy, the rest mild, and throw a special in there. Throw like jerk chicken in there, and I'm out of here, dog. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing else.
You ain't finna just walk in at her and have food ready.
It's just right. You feel me? Like, nah.
No. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, I don't want no sides. Just give me beef patties so I can go.
You have to call ahead at least 30 minutes, and you have to lure somebody with terrible phone etiquette.
And tell you we don't have dots. We don't have dots. They have rice? No, we don't have nuts.
Or you be like, okay, can I get this? And it's like, yes. What does it come with?
I tell you,
and then they tell you like they're in a hurry. It's like, nigga, I'm calling you. What the fuck?
There's only 2 people in here.
It's your goddamn restaurant. You supposed to be able to take the damn order.
I remember I fucking went to Gracie's one day, and Gracie's had on the special of the day was the oxtails. I was getting some food for me and my mom, so I got my beef patties. She wanted some oxtails. So I was like, how much is the oxtail? She's like, oh, we don't have no oxtails. Then why is it on the food menu for the meal of the day? What the fuck do you mean?
It was the meal of the day?
It was the meal, bro, it was on the meal of the day, like the little special house special shit. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? You know what? Let me just get my beef patties and go home. Let me just get my beef patties and go.
You gotta look on oxtails, mama. Think of some other shit.
Ain't nobody go to the store yet. Nigga, they go to the store. What are you talking about? This is your special for the day. You don't have that?
Like, nigga, it's lunchtime. Why do y'all not have food?
Why do you not have food in a restaurant? Do y'all run out? Do y'all just order enough for the day and that's just it? Just run to Kroger's for a fucking 10-pack and hope nobody else orders none. Oh man, $5.99 get you rice and peas.
Just pick up whatever you felt like checking out with. It's like, I don't feel like waiting on 12 of them. I'm just gonna get like 7.
I don't think it's going to be enough customers today for the oxtails. Oh man, I love Jamaican restaurants. Why is Michael Jordan the worst kind of asshole?
Because he was always trying to fight somebody for like no reason, but he was always trying to. It was like, why are you trying to fight everybody? Why? What's the purpose?
I mean, I thought you meant like it was other reason. I thought you was gonna give me a good ass reason.
No, he was punching. He was swinging on everybody in practice. It was always his old T-base he was swinging on and shit.
He wasn't swinging on Scotty. He ain't that crazy.
Well, Scotty already got his graces. Scotty went through it. But and then another thing was that like the thing is that Jordan would like make bets with people, but then if it got like to a big amount, he wouldn't pay. So like if like he like one dude
flu game
like one dude would beat him in ping pong, and then Jordan owed him like $1.5 million, and then the dude went to collect, and Jordan refused to pay him. And then he was like, well, you got to play. He's like, well, you got to play me again. And then got it down to like, just like 200,000. So he would.
Well, you got to play me again. The older I get, the more I realize that Jordan probably got his dad clapped.
His dad was pretty terrible at business. Like his dad, like his parents started a nightclub in North Carolina for whatever reason. That how like tore the family apart, and then he was like trying to let his family like run businesses under the Jordan name, and then like his dad was running like a Jordan store for like clothing and shit, and like his dad would order the clothes but then not pay the distributors and shit. And then had like
runs in the fucking family.
He had like a girlfriend, and then would like disappear for days at a time. And you'd have to read one of his books. It was like his dad wasn't that great of a character. Like his dad made some questionable choices, like a number of questionable choices. So it might have been on the part of his dad. And then like Jordan basically had to like cut. He ended up basically like cutting his family out of his businesses and shit. Like, granted, he undercut, like his brother was trying to make a cologne, like a Jordan cologne, but then Michael Jordan signed up with like other companies to have a cologne made, and basically just crushed his brother's dream. But then he like basically had to remove his family from the like the little Jordan clothing company and shit. It was some other shit. It was a lot of stuff we didn't understand that was going on in that time. It was a lot of stuff.
Let's just keep it basketball in.
Yeah. So I finally finished the USFL book, United States Football League. A lot of wild shit. So I'm just gonna read you a number of excerpts until I get tired of reading. Entering the season opener, the Federals led the USFL in 3 official categories. Football players no one had ever heard of, cigarette smokers, and coke addicts. This is wild shit. I don't even remember. I should have highlighted it because I don't even remember what these passages are anymore. Oh, this dude was Rick James' bodyguard. It was a dude named Doug Green, a safety out of Texas A&M Kingsville, who spent 1978 with the Cardinals and 1979 and 1980 with the Bills. He befriended Leon Spinks, the former world heavyweight champion. When Green joined the Bills, Spinks asked whether he knew anyone in Buffalo. I'm going to look you up. So fast forward to one of the Bills' practices in 79. Green was working out when an Excalibur parked near the fence. Two men unfolded from the vehicle. One was a 6'9" bodyguard holding a 9mm pistol. The other was Rick James, the music superstar. He had long dreadlocks, a crooked smile, and wore a full black leather bodysuit. The bodyguard swaggered over to Green and said, "Rick wants to speak to you." "I know who you are," the singer said. "I promised Leon I'd take care of you." James handed Green an envelope containing $500 in cash and insisted he check out of his hotel after practice and relocate to the James household in East Aurora. It was the most buff, baddest mansion ever. Indoor tennis court, indoor pool, indoor women. Old man, black, white, but mostly white and blonde. They came and went nonstop. Before long, Green was devoting his spare time off-field to work as one of James' bodyguards on the road. It was first-class travel and sexual and financial perks galore. I wasn't the best player in football, but I was the only one who could say he was Rick James' bodyguard.
I wasn't the best in football, but I was Rick James' bodyguard.
I should have highlighted these because I don't even remember what half these are. I read these passages so long ago. This is about Herschel Walker. It was like his first game as a New York General. "It was strange because I run into softer walls than Herschel. The guy was all muscle," said Danny Rick, the express linebacker. "There was one play I remember most. The Generals handed the ball to Herschel, and I reached in and grabbed his crouch and twisted it as hard as I could. And he put his kind of kung fu grip on my wrist. I'm grabbing his wiener, he's grabbing my wrist. Now I'm trying to yank my hand away, and he stands up and just points to me. Doesn't say a word. He was a bad man. They needed to use him."
What the fuck?
So he's just grabbing his dick, and Herschel Walker was like, "Oh, no, the fuck you don't." It's like, nah, I'm running this shit. Shit, now I'm hot. Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm trying to remember what this team name. Okay, the team that was the Bandits. Tampa Bay Bandits. So, they were trying to do promotions to get, because the problem with the USFL is they could never get as many fan attendance as they needed to, especially for like their they had TV deals, but it's like the games would never, like most of the teams couldn't get the enough fan support like to get the numbers up for the arenas. Like if you needed like 50,000, but they're getting like 30.
Yeah.
Or you needed 30,000, they're getting like 12 and shit. So they were trying to do promotions. The team was up for anything. There was $1 million dangling carrot offered to the Buccaneers owner Hugh Culverhouse for a game between the two teams. It was declined. University of Florida students were presented with a 10 games for $35 ticket package.
What? What? 10 games for $35?
Granted, this is the early 80s.
No, but you get a whole 10 games for $35.
The early 80s, and you're fighting the actual NFL.
Still, though, goddamn.
Bassett came up with the idea of catering the Tampa Stadium press box with food representing the visiting team's home state.
Niggas is doing everything to try to get fucking seats.
There were also giveaways, tons of giveaways. Even if a game were as lopsided as Blitz 42 Bandits 3, Bassett knew how to hold the crowd's attention. So the Bandits held a halftime $10,000 diamond handout and a halftime Dolly Parton lookalike contest. There was a Miss Tampa Bay bikini contest. Wrote Nick Michella of Fort Myers News Press, it was a skin and sex spectacular. 98 curvaceous beauties wearing nothing more than Pepsodent smiles, teeny weeny bikinis, and plunging one-piece bathing suits parading around in high heels. There was a promotion where the team offered to pay up $50,000 of a fan's mortgage. Once Dodge sponsored a giveaway where cars were driven onto the field, the stadium lights were dimmed, and attendees' names were announced as winners. In full view of everyone, someone opened up a car door, sat down, drove it out of the stadium, and never returned. You can't make that up. The most memorable promotion ploy came when the Bandits promised $1 million to a random fan during halftime of a game against Denver Gold. The winner was a local engineering technician named George Towson, who, before a crowd of 54,267, held aloft an enormous cardboard check for $1 million. Towson soon learned the payout would come in increments of $50,000, beginning in 2005.
Wow. He ain't getting none of that money.
Nope, because they folded.
He got none of that money.
Why'd I put 34?
He will come in increments of 2. I would be like, nigga, just give me something.
Because they didn't have the money to go.
That's too funny. It's the 80-something. You talking about a nigga not gonna give money till 2005.
Oh, this is the one I told you about where it's like with Mills leaning away, the stars were sharp, and under Mora's iron fist, discipline. Our nickname for Mora on the team was Dick, said one of the star player. Why? Because he was a dick. That was a quote. Let's see, let's go to 95. I wrote these down so long ago, I don't even remember what this shit is about. Let's see. Oh, okay. This was like a quarterback that was like a straight Southerner. Let me see, what's his name? Something Herbert. Bobby Herbert. Bobby Herbert, aka the Cajun Cannon of the Panthers. Okay, so he was born and raised 32 miles south of New Orleans in the town of Cutoff, Louisiana, population 3,500. After leading South Lafourche High School state championship, he attended Northwestern State, Louisiana, a Division II school. Because 1983 was the year of the quarterback, Herbert fell between the scouting cracks. Kanan Nakadoch was watching throw, but the competition was suspect, and the other available quarterbacks were dazzling. I went to the NFL Combine in Florida, Herbert said. Gil Brandon was there. He told me, they named him coach. Like many Cajuns, Herbert's family was largely French-speaking. His grandmother, Birdie, was incapable of communicating via English, and his father, Bobby Sr., did not learn the language until reaching elementary school. My dad graduated from LSU, is a wizard in trigonometry calculus. But you hear him speaking, you wonder if he ever went to high school. As was the case with his father, words from Bobby Jr.'s mouth appeared to be spoken in some far-removed Klingonian dialect. His roommate with the Panthers was Mike Hagan, a fullback out of University of Montana. At the end of his first day in camp, Hagan called his wife Ann and said, "It's weird. The guy plays football, but he's not from America." In the huddle, wide receivers and halfbacks stood regularly close to their quarterback and often broke without a clue of what to do next. In the case of opposing defender safety blitz, for example, Herbert was supposed to yell "snake, snake," only he was unable to enunciate the S before the N, and snake became nake, nake. "What the hell is Nate?" said Derek Holloway, a Panthers wide receiver. "We had to change the word because he just couldn't say it. I was from Georgia, so that made me the closest guy geographically when it came to understanding Bobby," said Matt Braswell, the center. "He wasn't Cajun, he was straight coon ass. If the game was getting closer, he'd get more excited. And if he got more excited, he became harder and harder to understand. We'd be in the huddle, Bobby would kneel down and say what he'd have to say. 9 guys would look at him, and as soon as he was done talking, they turned to me to translate." That shit was funny.
He didn't speak Cajun, he spoke straight coon ass.
That shit was funny. Let's see. Oh shit. So after the first season, 2 teams were traded for each other.
What the fuck does that mean?
The Boston Breakers sold to a Louisiana real estate developer named Joe Cannizzaro, moved to New Orleans, where they would play in the 69 69,000-seat Superdome as opposed to the 21,000-seat Nickerson Field. It threatened the NFL Saints, who in 17 years of existence had yet to enjoy a better than 500. The Boston to New Orleans transfer was greeted with mixed emotions, some. It paled on the bizarro meter, however, compared to what happened on September 30th, 1983, when the roster of the Chicago Blitz and the roster of the Arizona Wranglers were traded for each other. Yes, traded for each other. It was unofficially the largest singular professional sports transaction of all time. Wrote Jim Litke of the Associated Press, "It's a confusing trade. The Blitz's name will stay in Chicago, but the Blitz's players will become the Wranglers in Phoenix. The Wranglers' names will stay in Arizona, but the Wranglers' players will become the Blitz in Chicago." At the news conference in Phoenix, Dr. Ted Dietrich, former Chicago owner and now owner of the Wranglers, said, "I believe this is the first time in football history that a franchise with all of its players have been transferred. We are the new Arizona Wranglers, but we hope to carry on the new winning tradition that we had in Chicago." It says one person wrote the definition of lunacy. The new Blitz owner was a Milwaukee-based cardiologist named James Hoffman Jr. He paid $7.2 million for a franchise with money that he did not have. His listed net worth, $18 million, was slight for the owner of a sports franchise.
The nigga was a regular ass doctor with a whole football team.
Yep.
They were just giving them teams away.
Well, the one thing that happened a lot in the book is that they didn't do thorough background checks. So like the dude who owned there was one dude who owned the Los Angeles team, and he was basically the Los Angeles version of Donald Trump.
Oh wow!
And apparently, like, his entire company was just fraud. It was just pure fraud, and then he just disappeared.
Just disappears. Wow. I want to own a football team.
Let me see the 150s.
Like owning a fucking Subway. You just had $50,000 on you.
Oh yeah, this is about the Texas Gamblers. Let me see. Oh shit, the Gamblers were wild. After games ended, a couple of us would do a sweep of the room to make sure no one forgot anything. So there's one time I'm walking out the locker room with Jack, and I hear this player yell, "Oh hell no!" Yeah, "Oh no, here comes the coach." Where there were a group of players beneath the stands with a hooker. She was giving all of them blowjobs before they got on the bus. Most of the players carried gamblers' tickets in their pockets, currency to hand police officers should they be pulled over doing 90 and a 55, or to draw long-leg, big-breasted knockouts away from boyfriends. We lived in Studio 54. On many nights, I'd go to The Rock, a club in Galveston, and sleep on the beach, wake up, and come to practice with sand all over me. It's just how we did it. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Gamblers are this shit is wild. Gotta get off the door. The Gamblers' offensive line coach was Bob Young, a 19th round pick of the St. Louis Cardinals. Whatever. Young participated in CBS Sports World's Strongest Man competition and believed there were no excuses when it came to the pursuit of greatness. I mean, Houston had a 6-foot tall plastic syringe on display in the middle of the locker room, said Jay Baquette. It was nuts. The unit held its weekly meetings on Tuesday nights at a topless club on Highway 59. And those that missed out were fined $200. Try telling your wife you have to go to a strip bar for work, said Boucher. Unlike other teams where the use of performance-enhancing drugs was subtly encouraged, Young pulled no punches. As naked women writhed on nearby poles, the coach made himself clear. "You use steroids or you're not on my squad," he told his man. It's that simple.
What is going on? Oh shit, my fault. I was trying to move my side over.
It was wild.
What? How you tell a nigga that you gotta use steroids or you can't play the game? At a 50. I wonder what bar it was.
This dude said drugs were all over that team, said Boucher. A ton of us were on steroids. To be honest, I supplied them. I hate to say that, but I had a connection, and I'd get the drugs and distribute them. Also, after away games, we drank for free on flights back. They walk down the aisle with Vicodin with Toradol. You would be holding 3 beers, and they give you a bushel of pills. We were living large, partying large, and we needed the drugs to survive. Although the Elfin receiver courts, because they had a bunch of small receivers, so they just It had a bunch of like fast ass slot receivers. Although the Elfin receiver course didn't turn to steroids, Johnson, its star and biggest character, combined his love of catching footballs with his love of marijuana. In the hours before kickoff, he drove to the stadium. Johnson would light up a joint and smoke it behind the wheel. Nobody on the team could believe it at first. They were like, how do you smoke weed before games? But it relaxed me. As the season progressed, Pat Thomas, the Gamblers' defensive backs coach, would tap Johnson on the shoulder in the locker room and ask softly, have you had your medicine yet? If Johnson nodded, all was good in the world. There was one game where Richard somehow didn't smoke his doobie, recalled Boucher. He played terribly and we lost. The next week, I walked past his hotel room and smelled the dough. I thought, Richard's ready to play.
That's not nothing new. That shit happens all the time.
There were two roommates, and one day Corville lacked Johnson's abilities to find open spaces and catch flying prolate spheroids. In 1984, for example, Johnson led the USFL with 115 catches. Corville finished with 4. The two were roommates, and one day Corville thought, if Token works for him, maybe it'll work for me. To John's shocked delight, en route to the Astrodome, Corville placed the joint between his lips, lit a match, and took a deep pull. Well, I go out there and I'm completely paranoid of everything. I didn't catch a single ball and I sprayed my thumb. It was the last time I ever played high.
Work some, won't work for others.
Yep. It worked really great for him and worked terribly for someone else. 179. Yeah, I don't remember what this is about. 181. Oh, this is the secret meeting with the NFL commissioner. So, shortly after the Times piece went to print, Trump arranged a secret meeting with, of all people, Pete Rozelle, the NFL's commissioner. It was held inside a room in New York City's glitzy Pierre Hotel and paid for by Trump. For the next 3 decades, the reason for and content of the sit-down would be debated. Was Trump trying to get into the NFL? Was the NFL trying to get Trump? What about was this about killing the USFL, merging, all of the above, none of the above? When asked, Trump and Rozelle offered different accounts. Here's what we know. The meeting was arranged so Trump could see what he had to do to wind up in the NFL. Trump made clear to Rozelle that the USFL was relatively unimportant. Trump explained to Rozelle that the other USFL owners mattered not to him. 3 additional men were invited to the otherwise private meeting. 2 never discussed it. A third was Leslie Shupak, co-founder and senior managing partner at KCSA Worldwide. The USFL marketing and public relations. Trump formed a tight bond, and 30 years later, the men remained bid. Shupak stayed for the early portion of the session, then left. In the immediate aftermath, however, he was briefed by one of the 2 men. He told me that before Pete could start talking on a casual basis, Donald started his diatribe on how great he would be for the NFL and what he would mean to the NFL to have him as a franchise owner. Donald was apparently going on in his typical style, telling Pete Rozelle what he believes in and why he would be powerful. It was typical Donald, and in that Rozelle couldn't get a word in. According to Shupak's colleague, the conclusion of the meeting looked at Trump. At the meeting, Rozelle looked at Trump and said, Mr. Trump, as long as I and my heirs are involved in the NFL, you will never be a franchise owner in the league.
To this day.
Trump, with the gifted ability to hear and ignore information as he saw it, remained undeterred. And I think I got to the trial. The trial was wild because Donald Trump basically like forced them to try to go to trial and then fumbled the trial because he was like trying to intimidate people by staring at them in the trial. And then the crazy part is they actually won. Well, I put for 294. Let's see. All right, let me get to the trial shit. 304. Oh, we're going. Alright, that's straight. Oh, here you go. This is talking about the meeting. So they had Pete Rozelle, the commissioner of the NFL, on the stand. Did you tell Mr. Trump you wish he had been able to buy the Baltimore Colts and hadn't gone to the USFL? Myerson asked. That was Trump's lawyer. No, Rozelle replied. Did you tell him that if he hadn't gone to the USFL would have died? No, never. Trump's testimony was decidedly different. He said that the hotel rendezvous was Rozelle's idea and recalled the commissioner saying, you will have a good chance of an NFL franchise, and in fact, you will have an NFL franchise. The trade-off, according to Trump, was that the USFL will remain in the spring and not bring in a lawsuit. Trump insisted he and Rozelle were friends. Rozelle insisted he and Trump were certainly not friends. Trump insisted Rozelle wanted him in the NFL. Rozelle insisted he would rather have maggot-infected fungus overtaking his cranial lobe. Not his exact words. I think that was like the author. Rozelle told me I should have been in the NFL, not the USFL. At some point, he said I would be in the NFL. Rozelle couldn't believe what he was hearing. He made it clear that it was Trump who reserved and paid for the Pierre suite. He told Rotham, Trump said, I want an NFL expansion team in New York. And he said, I'm quoting him exactly, I would get some stiff to buy the New York Generals, my team in the USFL. Unlike Trump, Rozelle was a meticulous note taker, and he presented his documented recollections from the meeting. Donald, here's one person, a juror. He did not do the USFL well, required Patricia Sibilia, a juror. Donald Trump and I actually got into a staring match. I would watch the people on the stand trying to read them. So he and I started looking at each other, and he tried to stare me down. It was an obvious try at intimidation. And what's funny in hindsight is that this so-called business genius had ruined it for him. He was not believable in anything he said. He came off as arrogant and unlikable.
Pretty much how he is today.
Let me see. Okay, here's the funny part. So, the USFL accused the NFL of having a monopoly and shit, right? They won the case. Here's the first question is, do you find that the USFL monopolized the business of professional football, yes or no? The answer is yes. A series of 27 questions was asked, asking whether the different NFL clubs, including the Raiders, were beholden to the monopoly. Yes was stated 27 times. What following was, okay, and yes, in less than 5 minutes, the USFL. So everybody, like, people were listening to the broadcast and shit. It's like, yeah, they won.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yet, in less than 5 minutes, USFL Joy was replaced by USFL Horror, and NFL Horror was replaced by NFL Joy. After confirming that yes, the NFL had violated the law, the jury awarded damages of $1. Yes, $1. Actually, $3, said David Catanillo, who covered the trial for the Boston Herald. Damages and antitrust laws are tripled.
Nigga said, get the fuck out of here.
And so, let me see. Okay, so later on, Sanchez, also one who empathized with the USFL, suggested the preposterous $1 figure was actually a signal to Leisure that the jurors could not agree on the total and that they wanted the decision left to a judge. She said she believed the USFL was entitled to $300 million, trebled to nearly $1 billion. It was definitely a compromise, Sanchez said outside the courtroom. $1 was all we could do, or we'd have a hung jury. Even though the NFL was eventually forced to pay the USFL $5.5 million in attorney fees, the money was far too little to keep the young entity afloat. Mm-hmm. Shit was crazy. Let me see. I'll read one more since we're going kind of long. So anytime you see football footage, so the NFL players went on a strike, and then I'm trying to find where it explains it. 35 years, something. Okay. One dude was told the good news is you get to keep the library. By the library, camera was referring to the entirety of USFL video footage. Cohen wasn't feeling I didn't want the library. Every year, millions of American men buy television in order to watch football. The various companies that produce TVs are aware of this and try to run advertisements for the contraptions that feature games. Unfortunately, the NFL only sells footage to its official television company. That means to say, if Zenith is the NFL's TVs of choice, Panasonic, Sony, Samsung, and a myriad of other entities can't use leak action. So every single year, I get calls from companies wanting to purchase USFL stock footage. I average about $100,000 a year for a long time. Don't blink or you might miss ubiquitous snippets of USFL game footage. The game that Julie Taylor was watching in the student lounge on Friday Night Lights, Blitz Bandits at Tampa Stadium. The Bubble Ball game in the SpongeBob SquarePants episode Bandits Showboats at the Liberty Bowl. A Scientology advertisement stars Anthony Carter scoring a touchdown for the Panthers. Russ Feingold, a U.S. Senator running for re-election in 2010, ran a spot with Gamblers receivers Clarence Verdin and Gerald McNeil dancing in the end zone. Two for the Money, the 2005 Al Pacino and Matt McConaughey film about sports gambling, features USFL actions.
That's pretty funny.
So anytime you see stock footage of football, it's USFL.
Oh man!
And that's not even like the specific crazy shit. Like the San Antonio team, basically San Antonio just should not have had a team like They didn't have space for them. Their arena had like concrete and like old ass astroturf, so like players were always getting like big ass rug burns if they get tackled on that hoe. And then they couldn't afford to pay the players, so like one dude was like was basically a thug, and he wasn't getting paid, and like the owner kept like just like they only had so much money they were paying, so like only like the first 14 people who got it, like as soon as everybody got their check, it'd be a bad dash to the bank because only like 20 of them would actually be able to get cash, like get that whole cash. And so one dude was like, fuck this, so he followed the owner home. And then when the owner was outside his house, I think he ran up on him with either like a bat or a gun. It was like, no, you're gonna pay me now. And so the owner like went in. He's like, you gonna pay me or I'm gonna fucking kill you, basically. So the owner went in, came back out with like $11,000 in cash in a brown paper bag. That shit was crazy. You should read this book. It's fucking insane.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to let me borrow it.
It's insane shit that happens in this house.
If you like what you hear, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave us 5 stars or everywhere you get your podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Space City Bros, Facebook at Space City Bros Podcast, and Instagram at Space City Brothers. If you want to think about supporting us more, how about donate to our Patreon? Or how about join our Patreon at Space City Brothers on Patreon? Anything else? YouTube, Spotify, on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah.
Anything else? What's the book called?
The book is called Football for a Buck by Jeff Pearlman. It is an excellent read on the United States Football League. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm finna borrow that hoe.
The only reason it took me so long to finish is because I read a bunch of it like at once.
And you burned out on it?
No, at the end of the year, and then I started getting busy at work, and I really haven't just been reading. So I got like 2/3 through the book in like 3 weeks, and then it was like, just haven't picked it up, and I finally picked it up and finished it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a lot of crazy shit that happened in this house."
So, Football for a Buck. If you want to listen, if you want to read more,
available on Amazon, which is where I got it.
Jeff Pearlman,
or quite possibly at your local half price books.
All right, guys, we gotta get peace.
Look how I run it up. Look how I'm coming up. I wish you was one of us. See how that money come? Paper cut fingers from counting that money up. Praying emojis. The blessings keep coming. I know I can't have enough. Never on E. Took off on haters. There's no need to gas me up. I'm patting my lead. I'm too far ahead and there's no way you catching up.